Hello, my friends. I don't want to waste any of your time here, but I want to give you an idea that I thought of. I drink a lot, I smoke a lot of weed, long story short, sometimes I think of ideas I really believe would change the world, okay? If you're willing to take the time to listen, I'm going to explain to you an idea that I've had for a few years now. I don't have the money to put it to use. Find a lot of stuff in the trash, but I haven't found the materials yet. I really believe it's possible to build a car, and I believe it's possible to build a bicycle, any kind of vehicle you like, with however many wheels you like. I just believe it's possible to build a vehicle that will recharge itself as you drive, such as an electric bicycle. Let's say you was to put a DC motor on the front of that bicycle. Have that motor generate power to a battery, such as a motorcycle battery or some kind of battery that's powerful enough to move the bicycle. Now, if you was to have a diode between the battery and that generator, the diode is like a door. It's going to stop the electricity from going from the battery to the DC motor in the front of the bicycle that's generating the power. So you can stop, and the bike will stop generating power. The power in the battery is not going to move the bike now unless you give the motor in the back of the bike the power to move the bike. Common sense, all right? Think about it. It's possible. Okay, now I know a DC motor generates electricity. When I say a DC motor, I can mean a small 3-volt cassette player motor. They generate electric. I've taken them apart. I've taken the little circuit boards out of the motors. All right, believe it or not, there's a diode on the circuit board of some of these modern motors that are in CD players and game consoles, stuff like that. There's actually a chip in there with diodes on it to stop that motor from generating power. I've taken them apart and I've taken these chips out and rewired them to where they do generate power. All right, these companies, instead of just making a simple motor, they're putting microchips in there now that burn out after so much time. If the motor gets wet, the microchips corrode and they're no good. They do this shit on purpose, so you got to buy new stuff. They don't want you to make stuff last. But if you have basic electronic knowledge, right? I've had this knowledge. I'm no smarter than you. Chances are you're more on point than I am. I've fried a lot of my brain cells. I can't think very fast anymore. I may not be able to think as fast as other people anymore, but I still do have the ability to think of some things. You know what I mean? When I was 13 years old, I was taking this shit apart. You know what I mean? It's when I first started smoking weeds, when I first started getting into drugs. Yeah, I'm not glorifying any of that. But at the same time, that's when I myself started taking things apart and learning how they work. Now, here I am years later. I can't say I've really learned it. I could say I learned a lot, but I can't say that I'm really doing very well. I owe thousands of dollars in fines to the government because I crashed my car hitting stop signs and stuff, you know what I mean? But that's beside the point. Put all that aside. I fucked up. I know I'm wrong. However, I want you to know that there's a way that you can build a car that will energize itself as you drive without having to plug into the government's electricity. Okay? The channel's no longer on YouTube, but I seen a video on YouTube of a guy who had an electric car that you're supposed to plug into your wall as you drive. I take that back. I said that wrong. After you're done driving, you plug the car into the wall, and it's supposed to charge the battery of the electric car. And then you have the gasoline engine as a backup in case the battery goes dead. First of all, they can make that battery charge while you have the engine running. Everybody knows that. Alternator. I'm going to put that aside. However, you can make that car charge itself as you drive. It's simple. You put a DC motor or an alternator, a generator, whatever you want to call it, you put it on the front tires of the car as the back tires push the car, or vice versa. If the car's front-wheel drive, you put the damn DC motor on the back of the car and have it generate electricity. This is common knowledge, basic knowledge that anybody can think of. Yet they're not selling these cars. There's a reason why. I'm going to stop hollering at you, and I just want you to know, if you have the money, all right, if you have the materials, you can easily build one of these. And I'm not telling you to patent it and make money. I just want you to spread the idea and tell others that the thing is possible. I've thought about it. I've dreamed about it. And I've got stoned and imagined having these things, building these things, okay? I'm not perfect. As you see, look, I'm sitting out in the middle of nowhere. All right, I'm sitting here drinking a beer with my